Hi guys, Canna Tori here. Um, so today we are going to continue our segment on Terpenes 101, and today we are going to do the terpene caryophyllene. Caryophyllene is one of my personal favorite terpenes. Um, I found an article here by Strain Print, looks like California. And I think I've went to them. They're pretty good. I've looked at several. So before digging into this article, I haven't even really read it yet. Before digging in, I just want to talk about how I feel about caryophyllene personally. Caryophyllene is a terpene that is going to be very peppery. Anytime you smell your flower and it smells really spicy, peppery, that's going to be a good indicator that it is very rich in caryophyllene, and that it is also probably going to be pretty good for your pain. So even if you take just like black pepper, okay, caryophyllene in black pepper, it's also really good for anxiety. So I've heard if you're in the middle of an anxiety attack, of course you can't go smell pepper, but if you eat like a teaspoon of it, that will completely help your anxiety as well. I did see somewhere that caryophyllene is also good for like neuro pain, so neuropathy patients. Anybody that's dealing with like extreme pain, high anxiety, definitely keep this baby in mind. Caryophyllene, whenever you're shopping at your local medical dispensary or your local rec dispensary, or go into a state, close by to try to figure it out. If you suffer from a lot of pain, caryophyllene. Bud tenders should be becoming more knowledgeable. So whenever you go in and you say, hey, what strain has this terpene in it? Hopefully we will start finding places that will actually say, here, this has this terpene in it, and we'll get you the medicine that you truly need. So here I've got Welcome to the Strain Print Community Understanding Terpene series. All right. Before diving into the details behind beta-caryophyllene, the molecule produced by cannabis known for its categorization as both a terpene and cannabinoid that provides pain-killing and anti-inflammatory benefits, it behooves readers to develop a solid understanding of terpenes as a category of wellness molecule. Okay, so two things. Terpenes are now being listed as a category of wellness molecule, which is fantastic. And something new that I learned about caryophyllene just then is that caryophyllene is actually on this borderline. Is it a cannabinoid? Is it a terpene? Right now, it's the only terpene that reacts directly with your CB2 receptor. So therefore making it, a cannabinoid, really, says it reacts with your endocannabinoid receptors. Okay, so understanding beta-caryophyllene. The most distinguishing characteristic of caryophyllene is the fact that it can be categorized as both a cannabinoid and a terpene. It conveys a peppery aroma that's sometimes described as spicy. In addition to cannabis, it's produced by basil, black caraway, cinnamon, clove, copaiba, hops, lavender, oregano, rosemary, and ylang ylang. I'm from Oklahoma, if you can't tell. This special component of the cannabis plant was first discovered in 1964 by pioneering Israeli academic research Raphael McCollum, who identified it as a terpene. And then in 2008, scientists observed that it's also showing indications that it could be labeled a cannabinoid by binding with that receptor. The medical efficacy is perhaps due in part to its unique dual role as a terpene and a cannabinoid. It exhibits a much wider range of medicinal benefits than most of its peer molecules. It is proven to be an effective painkiller, especially when paired with other analgesic cannabinoids and terpenes, most notably THC. The combination of anecdotal evidence and research has indicated that health benefits include analgesia and a reduction in systemic inflammation, also shown to be helpful in the treatment of anxiety and depression. This quirky terpene may also play a role in helping patients recovering from addiction to alcohol. Insufficient doses can also induce sleep of obvious value to insomniacs. In addition, it's been found to act as an antifungal and antimicrobial. Okay. Technically, a bicyclic sequesterpene. Sesquiterpene. It binds with the CB2 receptors of the endocannabinoid system, has several beneficial effects, one of which is to increase production and availability of the internally produced endocannabinoid anandamide. Anandamide is beneficial, this is your AEA, is beneficial cannabinoid that plays a critical role in the management of anxiety, appetite, depression, sleep, pain, is sometimes referred to as the bliss molecule. An accurate mnemonic trick is to consider the AEA of the human's body version of the cannabis plant's THC molecule. That makes no sense to me, whatever they just said, sorry. Beta-caryophyllene is often present in strains with spicy pepper notes, and strain print users rate strains with high percentages as being good for pain management as well as having antidepressant properties. So there's been several studies that have been conducted. There was a study in 2018 in the British Journal of Pharmacology. It shows that caryophyllene protects against alcoholic steatohepatitis by attenuating inflammation. I also saw where, caryophyllene might be good for like an alcohol deterrent. So, anybody struggling with that addiction can definitely kind of lean on caryophyllene as a much healthier alternative and kind of help brace some of those addictive needs there. Let's see here. It shows that it's a unique terpene that has a potential role in helping liver disease. So also some healing there. In 2014, a study involving mice entitled the cannabinoid receptor selective, CB2 receptor selective. It exerts analgesic effects in mouse models of inflammatory and neuropathic pain. So here we go for inflammation and neuropathy. Definitely we want to think rich in caryophyllene, high in caryophyllene strains that are going to help. OG Kush is usually really high. White Widow is another one, and both of those, like, we didn't really know why, but we know that both of those are really good for pain anyways. So it seems like the caryophyllene has a little bit to do with that as well. Another one in 2014, Journal Physiology and Behavior, produces multiple behavior changes relevant to anxiety and depression. So beta-caryophyllene plays a beneficial role in the treatment of anxiety and depression based on how it binds with the CB2 receptor of the endocannabinoid system. And so one of the other things that they said that receptor is responsible for is like sleep as well. I'm not showing any studies that was conducted on sleep, but I would assume that it would definitely have some assistance there. Maybe not so much as a linalool, but if you can find one that is rich in both linalool and caryophyllene, then and you've got it suffer from insomnia, that's a good way to go. So marijuana as a medicine, This is very new. There are a lot of reasons as to why marijuana is, we're pushing it as medicine. There are different things that help overcome addictions. So we'll probably move into linalool as our next terpene. Eventually we can get into a little bit more heavy stuff. I know green crack is specifically, it's a strain that also high in caryophyllene, but still energetic, is really good for people suffering with like opiate addiction. So there's a lot to learn. I'm happy to be able to talk with some of you about some of the things that I find fascinating about cannabis. If you would like to see what Oklahoma is doing, you can go to Facebook, and if you use the little @ sign and you type in @Tori's Canna Collective, it's TORISCANNA COLLECTIVE. That should bring up my Facebook page, Tori's Cannabis Collective, and on there it's just all of my favorite fire grows in Oklahoma, some of our other really high quality products that we have here. We've got some people out here in Oklahoma just killing the game. I also try to put a little bit of educational stuff on there. And thanks, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with Canna Tori. Have a good day.